Okay, welcome to 80's, 90's, and 2000s Vibes podcast. I'm your host, Boro, and we're here with the lovely and talented R&B trio, Allure. Nice to meet you, ladies, today.
Oh,
Hey,
thank
how are
you.
you?
Nice to meet you. How are
How are
you?
you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good.
I
Good.
was, I was just asking Lala and Aaliyah, how has it been dealing with the pandemic for you and your families?
Oh, chaotic, but we're maintaining. A couple of people got
Right,
sick, a couple of people passed away and stuff, but just trying to be as patient as possible until it's all
Right.
over, hopefully.
right, right,
Right. Like we said to you before we started broadcasting, we're just trying to stay safe, healthy, and positive through everything.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I think we all are. It's just been dangerous out here, and
Yeah.
we just say that
Absolutely.
everybody get that everybody is careful during this pandemic.
Yeah.
What did you
Yeah.
say? Sweet tone. What did
Oh,
you
my
say?
Yeah.
bad.
Because that was so
That's his
soft.
nick. That's his
That's my new
nickname.
She's
name.
so sweet tone.
Sweet Tone. Sweet
That's
Tone. That's
funny.
what
Now,
they call him.
I was just
I
saying
know.
like we're just praying for everybody to be safe during this pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
So like growing up as what was it like some of the artists that you grew up listening to around the household that made you decide that you can be a singer like professionally?
Um,
Oh, sorry. We're pausing because we
Anybody
have
in
a habit of
particular?
speaking over each other. So we're trying to, like,
Yeah,
who's
so you
going
want
to
to make
talk
Okay.
sure.
first? But go ahead and keep
Okay.
saying go.
Oh,
All right.
well, for me, since I'm the only Puerto Rican in the group, so
Right.
a lot of the stuff that I listened to was, a lot of like salsa, a lot of merengue, but I also was exposed to a lot of Barbara Streisand, Angela Bofield, a lot of Motown, doo-wop. So I was pretty broad as far as what I used to
Right.
listen to when I was growing up.
Yeah. We're a
Yeah,
very eclectic bunch. We are.
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Right. And did like you listen to different artists, did that have like a an effect on the way that you sing songs, or the way that you wanted your albums to be crafted?
It's funny for me because of the fact of, like Akisa said, our families, our parents, we listen to a lot of old school, what people consider old school, but for us it was like Motown and all that stuff, like Akisa
Right.
said. So for me,
Yeah.
I listened to that stuff so much that when we started recording, they would tease me and say I sound old. So that
Hmm.
played a big part in my
Yeah.
sound because I just love that time. So I
Yeah.
sound like I was born in 1951.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well,
So, it's,
for myself,
but
I
I
listen and grew up.
appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Everyone appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
For myself, I grew up listening to a lot of gospel and, a lot of powerful belter singers, Shirley Caesar, Mahalia Jackson. Come get your phone. I'm doing an interview. And but and then I had a tendency to belt a lot. So
Right.
there's a different technique when you sing in the studio. You can pretty much use the mic as your friend. It's an instrument and it's another tool to
Right.
help you not have to
Yeah.
sing as hard as if, you were singing live in church. So
Yeah.
that was
Right.
some yeah, that was
Right.
something
We
I
we
learned.
we started out singing very aggressive. We
Yeah.
were very aggressive on the mic, and we had to learn
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
to like tone it down and understand like, oh, there's different ways. Okay, we're just used to just
Exactly.
going. So,
Right.
Right.
but it was
Hmm.
like we said, it was a great experience. We learned a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys got signed to Mariah's label, Crave Records. You hook up with the track masters. What was that like working with the track masters in the studio for your first album?
It was it was it was a lot of fun, but I
Yes.
feel like in a nutshell, just being signed to Trackmasters and also Mariah, it was
Right.
competitive in a way because we had a lot of everybody trying to figure out who they wanted us to be, what they wanted to sound like. Because if you know Trackmasters
Right.
catalog, they're
Yeah.
very hip hop oriented. So,
Hip
and
hop.
being that we
Yeah.
were from, yeah, being that we're all from New York, we already had like that
Right.
New York swag, if
Right.
you will. So we
Right.
were
Right.
cool with with
Hmm.
sounding like the Mary J. Bliges or the Totals or the whatever. Any girls group that that had that flair. But at the
Yeah.
same time, we also loved our ballads and we also loved certain sounds that weren't so hard. So
Yeah.
Right.
I think that was the only thing that was like different for us was the tug of war of what should they be,
Yeah.
like, so
Between
we
our
Right.
tried to be a
image.
little,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
find a happy medium between the
and
two.
also, I mean, yeah, and also working with track masters, you had to have tough skin.
Right.
Like you really had to have tough skin. They would come down on
Yeah.
us a lot, but in a loving way because they wanted
Yeah,
us to
Mhm.
be the best we could be. And then it was
Right.
like
and
a
ready.
balance because then Mariah was really sweet about it. Mariah was
Yeah.
sweet as
Mhm.
far as teaching us the lessons. She wasn't as hardcore, but track masters, you had to have tough skin to be in the
Yeah,
Yeah.
studio with
Yeah,
them.
they gave us nicknames and everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
And sweet tone. We have carried it on.
Right.
Yeah,
And
for real.
and and you managed to have like some of the best MCs from New York at that time, like Nas, Raekwon, Cormega on the intro. You know what was that
Yeah.
like having some of the hottest MCs at that time
Nature,
the first
sorry,
time?
nature
Nature,
was the
Nature, my
nature,
bad.
intro.
Sorry,
nature.
Nature, my
And
bad.
LL.
And LL, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, what was that like having all of those MCs from New York on your first album?
It was dope. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think we were the first R&B girl group to have them featured on our album versus waiting for the remix.
Right.
I think, if I'm not
No, we
mistaken.
weren't. We were
No,
not.
no.
We were?
No, we weren't.
Well, we had a whole
No,
slew of them. So we was the first to have a slew of
we just
them.
had a lot of them.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
We just had a whole lot of them. But
Right.
it felt great because it was an honor for us that they even wanted to be a part because we're a new
Right.
group just
Yeah.
coming out. We don't have, most of the time people do things because, you have a name and you're out there. So it's like a great collaboration. But a lot of these people
Right.
co-signed saying that they thought we were dope. So that made us feel great because we grew up admiring a lot of these rappers. So
Right.
Yeah.
it was a
Same,
great
same.
thing for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first single is Head Over Heels, and that was with Nas. And do you remember your first time hearing that on the radio?
Ah, it was
Yeah.
Thanksgiving 1997. DJ Clue played
Yeah.
it in his
Yeah.
mix.
Hmm.
And we went ballistic in the home. We're like, wait. First,
Screaming,
it hits
hollering,
you
yeah.
that it's you. Then you're
Right.
trying to grab the phone and dial. It was
It was a
okay. The
lot.
only
Yeah.
person that didn't get to hear it
It
was
was a
Akisa, though.
right.
Yeah.
She
I
was
was on the go. I
outside,
was moving around. They would call. I
and
was
we didn't have
outside.
cell phones then.
With my daughter in the
Yeah,
carriage. And they're like, with our big cell phones, our big Nokia cell
yeah.
phones. They're like, where are you? I'm like, I'm
Which,
running home. Why? They're like, we on the radio. I'm like, what? I'm all crying, walking, pushing the carriage. So I
Right.
missed it the first time, but I caught it. I think that same day they played it a couple of times, like on some,
yeah,
like
they played a
They
couple
played it a
times.
few times.
and
Yeah, it was.
yeah. So hearing it the first time was like real surreal. It was a lot. I remember just crying the whole time.
Right.
But
Yeah.
not for
And then
nothing, I think because that was our first single, even when I hear it today, like when people are like it's on, it gives me that same feeling all over again.
The
I,
same
it just
Hmm.
feeling.
takes
right,
me
right.
Yeah.
back to that memory of the first time it was ever played on the radio.
Yeah.
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 And then your big
Absolutely.
hit, All Cried Out, that goes to #4 on the Billboard charts. What was
Hmm
that like
Hmm.
having that huge success for that single and a rendition of Lisa Lisa and Cody?
Crazy.
Oh man, I mean,
It was
again, it was an amazing thing because once again, it's a remake. So of course, you want
Right.
to make sure that you do it justice because you're remaking someone else's song, and then to
Right.
Right.
have Full Force and Lisa once again say you guys did an amazing job and we support it. That just took it to a
Right.
whole nother level, and to have our boys 112 on there, and we feel like for the 90s, we kind of did the whole Supremes and Temptations thing. We kind of brought that feel back with a male group and a girls
Right.
group, and
yeah.
it was just dope all the way around. And then for it to be so huge and for people to love it the way they did and embrace it,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
work to this day because of that song.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then it was nerve wracking too, because it was a song that we grew up on. Just I think that was
Right.
one of the first songs that we remember listening to and feeling like, damn, we really in our feelings and we don't even know why. So,
Hmm.
Yeah,
but also
right. We
the
don't.
main thing was to do it justice. Yeah, just the fact that everybody said we did it
Right.
justice was like,
Yeah, and
okay.
people are quick to
Yeah.
throw tomatoes at you if you mess up a remake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who is the most difficult member in the group, if any?
She's no longer here.
That's no longer here.
Oh,
Okay.
see, there's always something that makes me grab the
Well,
line.
yeah, we could say that, but people will say me because I'm like the mama and I'm very protective. So I don't
Right.
like people off the bat because I always feel like people have a hidden agenda and I will express it and I will show it if I feel like something ain't right. So
Right.
a lot of people will say that me, but I'm cool with it because I mean it in a positive way, not in a negative.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Ali said the
I think
main one is
we
gone.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We all have
Oh,
our
me?
characteristics, but we know how to balance each other out. We know when to say, like, all right, you're doing too much or
Right.
whatever, calm down or this or that. So,
Right.
yeah, it
Right.
depends on what you're talking about.
And
Well, I'm like
what?
the great debater,
Yeah,
so
but we
it
don't have any
depends
like
on who.
diva like behavior. We're not
Right.
like
Yeah,
diva
not
like
at
in
all.
a negative way. Not at all.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll
what
shut you down if you try us now.
right.
But yeah,
But that's not being a diva. That's like I said, you're protective.
yeah, you just
We speak
yeah.
up. We
Right.
speak up. Yeah.
Yeah, what happened with the fourth member? What happened with Lenny?
Um,
Well,
honestly speaking, I think there was just we just came to a point in time where
we had to
the
social
group
distance.
the group she said we had to social distance before we social distance, but it was just one of
COVID
those
in
things where
2000.
right, it was just one of those things where as a group collectively we had an idea of where we wanted to go, where we wanted to be, the things we wanted to do, and the pace that we wanted to go at. You know what I mean? As far
Right.
as like just being able to elevate, together. But
Yeah.
that togetherness wasn't as cohesive with the other member as it was with the three of us. So, when we figured it out, we broke up for like 15 minutes and then we were like, okay, what the hell are we doing? We're not doing this shit. We're going to remain and we're going to keep it pushing. So
Right.
that was pretty much it. One of these things was doing their own thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Right. Basically,
okay,
that
so
was it. She wanted to do her own thing, and we still wanted to build the group's brand because we were still just starting. So it was like
right.
Mm-hmm.
everything was, we hadn't been out that long. It was like maybe 4 years in, and it was like we still got a lot of growing to do and a lot we need to do. And she
Right.
Right.
wanted to
Right.
like do her own thing outside of
Hmm.
us.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
So there's no bad blood or anything. Y'all were still friends.
No, I'm
No, we're
just
not still.
I'm just blunt.
no.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
no,
No,
I ain't.
no, there's no communication, nothing, no.
Hey, sweet tone laughing.
No.
I mean, she keeping it
Sweet
real. You
Toad.
keeping it real.
I can't with y'all. Sweet Toad laughing.
That's my new nickname now. So
I know. I was
um
like, he's soft spoken.
Yes, it is. Just so
yeah.
you know.
So so you transitioned from Mariah's label over to MCA Records. You dropped Sunny Days in 2001. What was that transition like from going from Mariah's label to your sophomore album on a different label?
Actually, we went to Sony first, and we did the
Sony. Okay.
Runaway Bride and the Best Man
Yeah,
soundtrack while we were
Columbia.
there. It was a
Okay.
brief stay. We didn't
Yeah.
stay long at all.
Right.
We did a short stay. Like
Pretty
a
short stay.
hotel. Short stay. We had a sneaky link with Columbia.
I'm done. Well, at
Yeah.
MCA, we were
But
Jeff.
MCA, we
Yeah,
want to thank Jeff Red for
right.
giving us
Yeah,
that opportunity to sign to MCA. And we
yeah.
did get a great song
Wait,
out of that
wait,
called
wait.
Enjoy Yourself that
Okay.
other people like, but didn't know that it was us. And we just want to
Thanks.
say that's us singing Enjoy Yourself. And,
Yeah.
huh?
Frozen. You're
What you say?
frozen. Say it one more time.
I don't know. Y'all are breaking up a little bit on my end. So
Yeah,
if
Okay.
I'm a
it's
little
You were
cutting
delayed,
in and
saying
out
Jeff
sorry.
tiny
Rad.
bit.
You wanted to thank Jeff Rad. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No?
She basically was saying
Yeah.
that we want to thank Jeff Fred for Enjoy Yourself
I'm
because a
looking
lot of
like an
people heard
ass
that
because it's
song.
delayed on my end. So I'm like pausing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
No,
all
we
good.
still hear you. Yeah, you covered it out.
Yeah.
But because basically they have released Enjoy Yourself like white label kind of stuff at one point,
Right.
and nobody knew who it was. So like Wendy Williams at one point was like playing it when she was at the station, and she kept what she called it. She said she called it her champagne song, her wine song,
Right.
or something like
Something.
that. Something like that. But everybody
Right.
knew and loved the song. They didn't know it was us until they found out. So that's what Aaliyah was just trying to say. Like it's us
Right.
for
Right.
everybody who's still confused. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
That's
what we
one of
got
my
out of that
favorite.
too.
That I was saying that was one of my favorite songs on the album. Produced by KG. I think it's a
Oh,
dope ass track.
yeah.
So
Aw,
yeah.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. Do you have any favorites from that album?
Thank you.
From Sunny Days.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Shit.
Ah,
She
you
said
What's
want your
shit.
happening,
welcome.
y'all?
You want your welcome. We Lil Mo helped write that, right?
Yeah. Well, she wrote that. Yeah, you watch your
Oh,
welcome was Little
and
Mo.
Earn My Trust. Those were like really emotional songs. I think my relationship at the time was troubling.
Right.
She said troubling.
Sorry to
It
hear
was
that.
troubling.
Yeah,
But yeah, those two stick out.
Yeah.
yeah, and
The
the
Little
shore,
Mo
and I gotta say
song,
the shore
the
too.
Little Mo song for me meant everything.
Yeah,
Because at that time I was dealing with a real jackass and his family, I dedicated that song to them. Jesus
not
Christ. You are
dedicated.
welcome for real.
She dedicated. She
Not
was like in
dedicated.
memory of, in memory of.
And we had a chance to work with both one of our favorite groups,
Mhm.
Johnny. We had a chance to work with Gene and Renee
Yeah.
on that album. Shout
Yeah,
out to
Yeah. Shout out to
them.
them. Yeah.
absolutely.
Classic R&B group. What I know we've heard different stories in the media and media outlets and the fans talk about the whole thing with you and Mariah. Like, once and for all, like just set the record straight. I would like to hear it from the group. Like, what happened between Allure and Mariah Carey?
Okay, sweet home, I'll tell you.
Okay,
She's
sweet
staying with that
home.
name.
Okay, well,
Well, once upon a time, there was a record label named Crave, and we were signed to it. That was all. We just pretty much we were in our feelings because for almost 20 years the label had never been mentioned out of her mouth in an interview or anything, and we just felt like the what was said was not fact, and we just spoke on it because we had been quiet for so many years. Like, I mean, we were young then, so to deal with it 20 years later, it was like, really? So, I mean, that was all. We just said our piece. We were the
Right.
first we were the first group on Crave. So that was the only
yeah.
thing. Like, honestly, I mean,
It was more so, it's more so this thing where people for some reason with us in particularly have this like way about telling us about the history of our story better than we can do it. and
Right.
and ultimately that's exactly like what she, like
Our
Lolly said, what it
experiences,
was
yeah.
like. Yeah, we basically were, we were traveling and doing so well, and we had just finished coming back from Japan, and we're like rushing home just to go to, to the station, to the label, and
Right.
like tell everybody all the stories about what happened, whatever the case is. And we get there, and the whole floor was completely gutted out. Everybody was gone. We didn't get a phone call, nothing as as small as a letter, a pigeon with a kite, nothing. So, for like she said, we were young. So for us to, establish all
A
these
message
relationships
in a
with
bottle,
track
anything, it would have
masters,
been
a message in a bottle,
beautiful.
something. So to establish all these relationships with like track masters and Mariah and all these people, to come back and then no, and then everybody's just like not even acknowledging any of it, as if we were just like some dun dun. So it's like, so this is it, you know what I mean? And
now
when
what's
like
that?
and like
Sorry.
Lali said,
Hmm.
when there were so many stories about her and her life and this and that, but like she said, the Crave wasn't mentioned or spoken about as much, and for the first time for it to actually be mentioned, we just felt like a lot of it was discredited as far as our involvement, as far as everything
History.
that we did, our history, everything. And it was like there was so much focus on other things as opposed to why can't we speak about it as a whole and like, sincerely and genuinely, and that didn't happen, and we felt some kind of way about it, and
Right.
people didn't like the fact that we felt some kind of way about it,
And
and boo hoo,
all
we don't care.
Go ahead.
we
Yeah,
didn't care, but also we actually, it's not like we read the book. So we actually didn't really know what it was about. Like we didn't know it was about
right,
some of her escapades and
personal.
her love life and all the things
Right.
like that. We just somebody sent us the insert and we were like, "What?" And we just,
Right.
we reacted.
Reacted. Right.
Yeah,
And now you're talking about years where
Sorry. It is
we
what it
didn't feel
is.
like our record label was the regular label mate and label and artist relationship. Like, we would go up there to chill, play hide and go seek. Like, we were the babies up there. Like, we
Right.
had fun. Like, we
Right.
just did things that the average artist probably just didn't do. So we were in our feelings. Like, we're like, oh no, that's not what happened. So
Right.
we just told our truth. And
Now,
obviously a lot of people didn't like it. And like Aaliyah said, we didn't care.
right. Now, I
right.
also heard there was
Right. I mean, but
something.
I mean, for us, we have had tough dealing with this industry, and because of the people that we have worked with, we know that that's a lot of why we've had to claw and fight to even keep going. We know that people do things to try to stop our forward progress.
Yeah.
It's okay because
Right.
we keep coming and we keep going, and that's what it is. And unfortunately, when certain people are at a certain level, people don't want to hear anything that they don't feel is what's the word, pleasing to them about that person. So we had
Right.
feelings about a person that everyone loves, and no one wanted to hear what we had to say. And our thing
Right.
was, well, it was our experience. This is how we felt, and we should be able to express it just the same way y'all felt the need to express how y'all felt about us, calling us all kinds of hags and all of this and this and this. And we were cool. We took it. It was like, whatever, that's your feeling. And we're going to still talk about our experience and what we went through. And
Yep.
that's it. And how we feel about your little excerpt in your book. Thank you.
Right. And so I heard also there was maybe something going on at a club, like she was at a club and she passed you guys, and There was some words exchanged or something.
Oh, that was a Christmas show, but she just
Okay.
skedaddled by.
Yeah.
Like
What?
she didn't give us eye contact. But I mean, huh?
No,
There
he,
were
What?
no words.
There
yeah,
were
there were no
no words.
words.
I
Okay.
mean,
You
and
probably
this
thinking
was
about
at
There
rumors.
were
There
least
was
no.
like a whole bunch of rumors.
this was at least 10 years after the record label,
Yeah,
folded. So
there was a lot being said. There were a lot of rumors going out that apparently me primarily that tried to jump her at Club Cheetah with some
Yeah.
friends of mine from the east side, and I'm like, y'all reaching real high right now, and actually quite low. It was just a lot of stuff that was being said, and like the girl said, like we saw that one time after so many years, and we literally just locked eyes, and she pranced away like a reindeer, and we said nothing to each other. We
Right.
didn't get a chance to speak to her because she acted like there was an issue. So to this day, we still don't know what the issue is with us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully
yeah.
one day, that'll all get resolved. You know.
and if not, it's okay. I've been in therapy. I'm
Mhm.
good.
Okay.
He said,
Oh
"Okay."
man.
Right. All right.
Oh man. That was funny.
He's
That was
like,
funny.
Thank you, sweet Tony.
Yeah.
Yo.
So how did you meet up with Ron Artest? Because I mean we're not. I mean I'm a huge basketball fan, and I know the drama that happened with him in the Indiana Pacers and the Pistons and all that at that time. So like, what was it like? What was like your first initial reaction when he came to you and approached the group about signing with his label?
I didn't hear the last part of the question because you got really low.
Oh, I was saying, what was your initial reaction when Ron Artest came to the group and asked you to sign with him?
I
Well, we were
feel like
grateful. Grateful for
okay.
one. He said, "What was our
absolutely.
initial reaction?" Yeah, because we were bouncing around so much ever since Crave,
Right.
and I think around that time was when we. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, because you know me. But I think around that time we were kind of like on a little hiatus and kind of stepping back, like feeling like we just didn't want to even like, entertain it anymore. We weren't even
Hmm.
feeling it no more. And for him to come, when we heard about him wanting to sit down, we were like, okay, and when he expressed how much of a fan he was first, it was just like, look, like, y'all are dope and I don't want to see y'all just giving up and whatever. So he kind of put the battery back in our backs. So
Right.
it was a feeling. It felt good to
Yeah.
be acknowledged and for somebody to tell us to keep on going when we were at a point when we didn't want to,
Right.
Right.
and yeah, Ron's dope. We still
Yeah.
family to this day. Yeah.
Our favorite boss ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a
Absolutely.
sweetheart. He's a
Absolutely.
sweetheart. So misunderstood. He's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the part that you
Yeah.
don't see from Ron. It's like they always show the negative part of him, but you don't see the
Yeah.
Oh
surface
yeah.
side of him.
Yeah, people don't realize how smart he is.
Right.
Like
Right.
he's really like genuinely a sweet guy, and he's super smart. Like the things that he's doing right now with his Panda organization, and how he's giving back, and how he's traveling the world, and just like really trying to spread love. Like people, like we said, just very misunderstood. But I think people are now starting to see that they were very mistaken. You know what I mean about how they
Yeah.
was like how they were judging.
Right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do Do you feel like the Chapter 3 album wasn't promoted enough?
Well, I think we just
Oh,
got caught up in the
he
mayhem.
tried his best.
He did. Because
He
Right.
sure
even
He
did.
tried his
even
best.
after he was like, go
Right.
get you up to three. So but
They were like, "But you punch balls in the face." Yeah,
Yeah.
but I got a
Right.
yeah,
girls
it,
group.
it was getting a lot of backlash. They were trying to
Right.
call him, they were trying to say it was his album,
Right.
and
Yeah.
he tried. It was,
Yeah.
it was out of our hands, but we still, to this day, he still wants to do something.
Right.
Yeah.
That's dope. Would you ever sign with him again or?
I don't think he even wants that
What?
anymore.
I'm sorry, I missed that, Sweet
He
Tone.
said,
What'd you
"Will we
say?
ever sign with
He
him
said we would
again?"
ever sign with him again.
I
I
don't
think
think
his
he would
vision.
do like a
Go ahead.
label situation because it was a lot. Easy. It's
Right.
not an easy thing
Yeah.
to do. It's not an easy. So I don't. I mean, if he wanted to and he wanted to talk to us about it, we definitely would take a listen. But
Right.
I don't see him
Yeah.
really doing that.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he learned, like he jumped in, and maybe it just the whole team wasn't ready.
Right.
Sometimes you just got to have people in certain positions
Yeah.
to carry it out. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Right.
And what have you learned like 20 years later about the business now that you didn't know back then?
That
You
is
got
not
time?
what it's cracked up to be.
What
So you
have we
got
learned
time?
20
How
years
much
later
time we
about the
got?
industry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I think one thing is that people will try to break you if they can. And you have to realize that because we're the type of people, we go into things automatically with love in our mind, like love and trust. And we had to realize, like, oh, it's not like that for everybody. Like when you're in this industry, it's kind of like a dog eat dog type of world. And I'm not going to say everybody, because obviously there are some good people in the industry, us being some of them. But
Right.
you learn
It's
quickly
far few.
that everybody is not how you are. So because we come in there built on love and family and trust, and everybody we got to trust, and it's not that. And we had to learn that many, many hard ways, that you can't trust everybody in this business.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Claudia.
they
Oh,
suck.
Are we frozen? I don't know what's
Nah,
happening.
No.
I hear you.
it was just a
I'm
awkward
looking.
silence.
Don't front of me, people in the comments, when y'all start commenting, because I know I look like a jackass because I don't know what's happening. Like it's frozen and then it starts moving,
No, but
and
it's
then I'm
it's
behind.
happening
So
quick.
forgive me, y'all.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
free,
but it's
and
like
then
real
Oh,
you're
quick.
moving
Yeah,
again.
it's real
But
quick.
we hear
Yeah.
you
but
clear,
on
and then
my
you
end
yeah.
it looks crazy. But okay, go ahead.
Right.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
okay.
And where do you see like the group Allure? Where do you see the group when it comes to '90s R&B and especially female R&B groups? You always hear about Escape and SWV, but where does the group fit into those other groups?
Um, I think we made our own mark. I don't think we're a group that really can be compared to anyone. We're not big on choreography. We're not. We just this is our passion. We love to sing. God gave us a gift, and honestly, that's what's keeping us going, even without what we feel sometimes are the accolades that we could have possibly gotten. Like we got overlooked for a lot of things when we were at our prime. For whatever reason, it is what it is. Everyone has their own road. So we feel like we're not finished. And when the time comes, we'll get our just due. But we're still in the game. I mean, we still made our mark, you know.
Thanks. Thanks.
We are mentioned
Mm-hmm.
rarely, but we're still pushing. And
Yeah, I agree. Um, if you come out now with new music, is there any artists from R&B particularly that you would want to work with?
hmm,
I think as far as
Definitely
pen
one
game,
person on our list is Bruno Mars.
Bruno
yeah,
Mars.
yeah,
Okay.
Bruno Mars is
Bruno
definitely
Mars
number
and
one
Neo.
on that list of
Neo.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and we've always loved Neo as far as like his pen game is crazy. I think Neo and Kevin Ross would be awesome to work with also, but Bruno's
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
like she
Mm-hmm.
said, he's top of the list for us. Yeah,
Definitely.
our
He's one
little
of the
mini
best.
man.
Yeah. He's one of the best right now. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And last question. What are your future plans? Do you have any new music coming out or books or what's going on with the group?
Well, right now we're working on our podcast, and
Okay.
the name of our podcast is going to be GAG, which stands for Grown Ass Girls. You can see why.
Right.
um, so we're focused on that right now. Just we've always wanted to have something where we can kind of like just sit down and have conversations with people who we can relate to. Just when it comes to music and just life in general, and be able to give people a platform as well, because I know that that's like a big thing. Sometimes a lot of artists who deserve it don't have the platform to be able to promote themselves or get, like Lottie said, they're just due. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
it's just gonna be like a lot of like dope conversation, flashback stuff of us, just a lot of fun stuff. And right now just staying positive and keeping God first, and
Yeah, it's
hope
gonna be
just
very raw, like a side that
yeah,
people didn't really get to see when we first came out.
right,
So now you're really
yeah,
gonna get to see who we truly are. But you can also, because we gave it to everybody for free, you can check out our single
yeah,
"Like I Do." You don't even have to pay for
yep,
it. Just go listen, go
Right.
click, and "Like I Do" is a fun song. It takes you back to that '90s era, that '90s feel, but in a modern way. And we're
yeah,
real proud of that. So look out for
Yep.
that. And
Shout out.
definitely the music is never going to stop. So we're always going to be working on our music on top of all the other things that we're working on.
Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to
yeah,
DJB and
Yeah.
Chanel Red and
Yeah,
JJ
she's
did
featured on
it.
it. Yeah,
Brooke
Chanel
Brothers
Red,
Brooke Brothers.
production.
Yeah.
Brooks Brothers. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
we get in trouble when we
Yeah.
start making shout outs
Shout
yeah,
out
because
to
people be like,
Chloe.
"Oh, you didn't mention it."
yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
we're
Yeah.
horrible.
Gotta say shout out to Chloe too. Yeah. They were dope.
Yeah.
They were dope to work with.
Yeah.
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 That's dope.
hmm
And I know our fans they appreciate you and all the timeless music you gave us. Give a shout out to them. What would you like to say to them, to your fans? Lastly,
We love you guys.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for
You
staying the
guys are the
course because
I'm
you
reason.
sorry,
know
I
it
didn't
was
hear you,
needed.
soft tone. I didn't hear you.
no, I was
I
saying
didn't
to
hear
the
soft tone. What did he? Sweet
I, I,
tone.
w- I was saying to the day one Allure fans, they appreciate your music. It's been timeless, and
Oh.
what do you, if anything, what would you like to say to them?
Oh, what we always say, you are the reason why we are still here and why we keep going. Every time we're
Yeah.
somewhere, whether it's a show, whether you hit us up on Instagram, however it is, and you say, we love your music, we want to hear from you guys, I enjoyed your show, all those things is what keeps us going, and we appreciate y'all. 20 something years, y'all still been there no matter what we've been through, and we love you for it. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank
They
you.
definitely stayed the course even when we didn't want to. So that's kind of what what keeps us going. So we
Right.
appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
hmm
We
And where,
love you guys.
yeah, and where can they follow you at on social media?
She said,
Well, you can follow us on Facebook. We're at Allure Live. On
yep,
Instagram, it's official Allure 97.
yep.
And we keep saying it, but we're working on our YouTube page. That's also official Allure, where we're gonna start adding stuff and
All right.
you know, keeping you guys updated, especially with the podcast coming up. We're gonna start
Right.
looking into that so we can have everybody subscribe and just
Yeah.
jump on board. So
Right.
yeah,
Bear with us, everybody. We suck at social media. Like we do it. We know we
Yeah.
have to get better because we know that's a big thing. But oh my lord, it's
yeah.
a lot. So
We from back in
just
the
bear
day
with
with
us. But
Commodore 64s
yeah.
and the first big back Apple laptops.
Right.
Not
Not
even
the big
laptops, the
bag,
computer, the
Not
J Lo
Commodore
screens, like
64. Stop.
yeah,
not the
come on,
Yeah.
Macintosh.
Right.
Right.
the
The Apple
Macintosh,
computers.
the Apple computer, yep, for real.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Not Macintosh.
Not the
You telling the
Macintosh.
you telling the
The
age.
Macintosh.
Oh man. Well, this was fun. Thank you. We appreciate it over here at the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Really, I will support you when anything you do. If you want to come back, you're always welcome. And
Oh, thank
I
you,
Oh,
appreciate
we
you. Like,
appreciate you. Thank you so much,
yeah.
Sweet Tone.
Thank you.
sweet
Sweet
home.
Tony.
Thank you for the name. That's my new name now. Thank you for the name.
We know it's
Uh,
trouble though. Thank
I know.
you.
yeah. So thank you, and grateful for you to even give us some of your time, and appreciate it. Really appreciate this.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
We appreciate the love.
All right.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.
All right.
All
Take care.
right. Bye.